Hi, everybody. Welcome in. We're so excited for you to join us tonight for the NCL individual game walkthrough. Please go ahead in the chat and let us know where you are joining us from. We'd love to know a little bit more about you. And tonight we have a couple players committee members, as well as one of our engineers from Cyber Skyline. So first we have Tristan, who is one of our lead engineers. Tristan, do you want to say something about yourself?
Whenever I get asked that question, I never quite know what to say. Hi, I'm a senior software engineer at Cyber Skyline. I made some of the challenges. Hopefully, I can help answer your questions.
Thank you, Tristan. And I'm sure you will be able to help us answer all of our questions tonight. And we do have Jamari from the Players Committee. Welcome, Jamari.
Hello, hello. Thanks for having me. How are you guys doing? You can't answer me, but it's great. I'm going to assume you're all doing very, very well. So happy to hear.
And we also have Frank from the Players Committee. Frank, welcome.
Hey, everyone. My name's Frank. Happy to be here. Happy to dive into some of these challenges today.
All right. Well, I know that you guys want to dive in as soon as possible, so we are going to turn this over to Jamari and Frank. And if you guys have questions, please feel free to post them in the chat, or as they're going through challenges, please feel free to post in the chat some of the ways that you were able to go through solving them.
Is the screen up? Are we shared? Are we good? Cool, cool. See it, Frank? We're good?
Yep.
All right. So let's see, where do we want to start? We want to start off easy. Get the fingers warm. It's cold where I'm at. I don't know about the rest of you, but I'm freezing all the time. Let's see.
Yeah, you might want to enlarge the font size a bit.
Yeah.
It's like a little pixely.
All right, cool. Hold on. Let's see if I can. I'm going to try to readjust it off camera real quick. Because whenever I try to do it through the terminal, it always winds up looking weird and doesn't zoom in properly. Maybe it's just the resolution. All right, sorry guys. Let's see if this is any better. Probably not. But let's try it again. Yeah, I tried the shift control, but it doesn't work for some reason. Let's try it again though. Yeah, no better, right?
Nope, still the same for me.
Figures. All right. Let's see what we can do. Off to a great start, by the way. I love it. Let's see here. Tap show plus link at top. Yeah, I'm doing it, guys.
Can you, what happens if you physically, like, is this a VM or is this your host?
It's one of my VMs, yeah.
Can you make the VM, like, smaller?
Yeah, let's do that. And then what, try to rescale it? Because I won't be able to properly do it. I could do a free stretch, but that's no help.
What about if you just made, like, the VMware station, or, like, the window smaller?
Oh, like the entire window, just minimize the whole thing?
All right, yeah.
I mean, that's not how you just see desktop. I usually use VirtualBox, and I don't have the issue in VirtualBox. I don't know why. Can make the font bigger, thanks. Yeah, you can start with that. Would you mind Do you have a VM that you can spin up real quick so I can fix this? If not, it's cool.
I don't necessarily have one on hand, but I could pull something together real quick.
All right, sorry about that, guys. The font is ridiculous as well. Let's see if I can adjust the display. It also probably doesn't help that the monitor resolution is pretty big on this one. Stretch mode. Let's try that.
You might be able to try like set font.
Let's try adjusting the font, you said?
I think there's a command that's like set font. Try.
Let's see.
I'll throw you some commands and see if it works. Try that. If it doesn't work,
Nope. No bueno.
and I'm sure have you tried the Control Plus and like Shift?
Yeah, I've been doing that this entire time. Nothing. It's unresponsive. You know what I'll do? I'll try to use the other VM that I have in VirtualBox. I'm usually able to scale that one. I'm not sure why I'm not able to do that. I'm gonna try to do that real quick. Sorry about that, guys. Let's see. We have this one I can just open up real quick. This one should work. Let's see. Oh, that's no better. It might just be the resolution of my monitor messing everything up. I'm not able to scale it. Let's just do this.
Okay. While you're figuring out some of the like font issues, I can go through the web app hard, at least like kind of like a quick overview while you get that all figured out on your end.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys.
Oh, it happens. Screen sharing is okay. Everyone able to see my screen?
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay, so I made this challenge, and I know that a lot of people had some difficulties with it. So we're gonna go over how you actually like went about solving it, and actually look at like some of the source code for the web app to like see how the actual like challenge kind of like worked. So this challenge was, there was like an application that was running, that it was for a indie game development company, and like you knew going in that there was like some of their new titles were getting leaked before they wanted them to be. So when you open it up, you notice that it'll call out to a get, or like to the games endpoint, and we can actually look at the code right here for the games endpoint. The biggest thing was you needed to decipher that you needed to have like a release parameter, which if you looked at all of like what it was normally returning, you saw everything had a release parameter. So you could just kind of like fiddle around with that. Eventually you'd get it, and you could see that you could set it, and the server would yell at you if your dates were incorrect. So how it works is, looking at like the solve, you set the release to A, because how JavaScript works, you can just pass date A, and it will create a valid date for you. So you can use that to get a release parameter that'll get around some of the like checks going on in the back end. And then you can also then overwrite IAD to query for less than or equal to 100, which will get you the game you're looking for. So it's a NoSQL injection along with like a couple of other little like gotchas in there. Is there any other questions about that? Okay, chat is a I cannot start over, but there will be a like this will be recorded. This is like, this was for the hard web app. It was Indie Metro. I do so someone asked what I recommend like learning to like actually do this, like JavaScript, C, and then like SQLi, not specifically SQLi, NoSQL, but like just learning a whole bunch of different web technologies, like even if it's not like a full like mastery on each, just learn a bunch of different web tech, and then like it's kind of easier to learn more as you need to go. Jamari, do you want to try your screen share again?
Yeah, let's give it one more shot. This is probably my biggest challenge so far today, so it's always a good start, right? Love it. And today's only what, Wednesday?
Yeah.
Yeah, love that.
So, Digi Jeff in the chat is asking like what technique I used to determine it was NoSQL. I wrote it, so there is no way that I can give you a blind solve on this thing. I just know a lot of people were interested in it, so I kind of wanted to like go over kind of how it was working on the back end and show people.
I see a question about flags in chat, so I'm just gonna start answering those while Jamari's figuring out the font thing. So for people who like maybe this was their first like CTF competition, etc., it's kind of like a cyber game. So sometimes in the context of maybe like let's say hack the box, one of the ways that these platforms are able to validate whether or not you were able to like successfully gain access to the box, or in this case, the way to validate whether or not you were able to successfully like complete the challenge is to find like a specific flag. And so what that means is, let's say, if some of the challenges there was like a password or something that was maybe like hashed in a certain way. So if you were able to crack that hash and the answer that you get that solves the question that was being asked, in that case, that would be the flag.
I see someone's asking about the Medium web app. I also wrote that, so like I can pull up some stuff. This isn't going to be a blind solve again because I can't go in blind. I wrote the thing. So someone is also asking if burp and curl were needed for web app hard. Burp and curl would help. I prefer like writing like scripts for solves like that. It's a lot easier for me to like go through and like figure stuff out in it. Like it's a lot easier for me to change a script because some of those like commands get like really long, and scripts you also can do sequencing of multiple requests. Okay, let me pull up my window again. Okay, I'm waiting for my screen share to actually pop up. It says that it's doing it. Can anybody see that? Or oh, there it finally goes. Okay, so this is my script that I wrote to actually like solve the Medium web app. So that one is what's known as like a type juggling vulnerability. This payload is actually wrong. And then this is an older version of it. So JavaScript is a dynamically typed language. And what that means is that like it tries to automatically infer types for you and do type conversions for you. When it does this, it doesn't necessarily do it in the way that you expect or you would want to. So when you go to add eggs into your cart, if you double array 10 and send it twice, I think it like ends up being something like 10,000 or 1,010. To like kind of like show this, I can like open up Node and do that. So the way the backend was like doing some checks, it was like not able to actually see that this number was under the limit, or like it saw this number that was under the limit, and then like you can do really interesting things with how a lot of like dynamic languages decide to like convert types for you, because it's not necessarily what you as a developer want it to. Any other sort of like web app questions? This is not a Java error, it's a JavaScript error. JavaScript is known for having silly types. Jamari, do you think you're ready for the screen share, or still battling the font?
I switched monitor displays to see if maybe it will let me do so. But every time I try to increase the size, even the terminal window, every time I try to increase it, just reverts back to what it was. It's not increasing. Oh, wait, maybe I can do it now. Wait. Try one more time. And where are we here? Anything sharing? Just as bad? Any better? Terrible? Worse?
I
Don't
think
care?
it actually looks marginally better.
All right. So, I mean, geez. All right.
I think you could probably work with this and then just
We're gonna have to.
and then just work on like just
Yeah.
kind of, I guess, over explain.
Yeah, we're gonna have to. While I was trying to fix that, I was looking over some of the chat, and I saw that a lot of people were saying that this was their first time doing the NCL. So congratulations! You should be proud of that. It's definitely not something that comes easy to a lot of folks. So I appreciate you guys having the patience to deal with this today. I guess we can start going over some of the easier NCL challenges and working our way up. For those of you who are newer, get some exposure, get some comfortability with working at the NCL flags. And this is a great way for me to brush up myself because I haven't had a lot of time to practice on some things today. So I see that some people are talking about the password cracking. So a few about that. I see a lot about the mobile web app that we were talking about before. Let's see. What else do we got? Just want to get an idea where to go. It would have been nice to have like a very specific itinerary of certain things to go over for you guys. Apologies for that. Let's see. Frank, do you see anything in the chat you think might be interesting?
I mean, there's a lot of requests for exploit enumeration hard if you want to give that one a shot. Hop right at the deep end.
I guess so. Let's see. Let's open that up. I had to flip my entire like setup around to get this to work. So let's see. Exploitation and enumeration hard. Passphrase? That one? Oh wait, more password cracking, def password cracking, exploitation enumeration. Let's just pick something to start because I wasted a lot of time fighting a monitor. So let's see. We have discovered the binary that seems to accept password. Let me share. Let's see. You have to install a passphrase bin. Okay. All right, so for a second, we're going to be looking at a blank page because I don't want to move stuff around and it starts getting all messed up. Let's see if we can get the window over here. So essentially the question is asking us to, let's see, we have discovered a binary that seems to accept the password. Can you reverse it and find the password that correctly validates? And we have a file here to download. So let's download that file. And let's see what we get. I should have it hooked up to this host. So let's see. Lost my screen again there. Sorry. Put that back up.
Okay. See if they're
Gonna have to do a hard reset. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, I can. I know that a couple people have asked about the hard network traffic analysis. I can cover that real quick. Okay, let me get my first screen share up because I want to show the packet capture first. Okay, so for this challenge, you were given a packet capture, and you can see this TCP stream in it. And this is where it actually starts sending data. You can see there's the PNG here, which for those that have not done like images, like done a lot of stuff, images have like a header in the file. And in the case of like PNG images, PNG is actually like one of the first few bytes of the image. That's how like image viewers and stuff are able to like tell what file it is before when you go to open it. So now if I can go in and actually pull up the challenge, you are given more than just a PCAP. You are given a C-style structure of what the format of the packet capture is. So if I can just go in real quick and I will pull up the challenge so you can actually see the C struct. So you have this C struct, which is a structure for a piece. It has a uint32 of piece ID, so that is 4 bytes, a uint8, 1 byte of padding bytes, and then uint32 for total pieces in the file, and then u8 of data. So if you've never like written C, this is just telling you this many bytes is a number, which tells you the ID of whatever piece of the file you're getting. uint8 is how many bytes at the end are padding. And then uint32 is like the total number of pieces in the whole file. So with this, you can then write a script that if, let me pull it up. Okay, and then here, sorry, I'm having to juggle a bunch of different screen shares. So what you have is this is like you can, from Wireshark, you can actually export the raw stream. And then once you do that, you can actually write out all of the pieces. So I have this parse piece here. Python has like a really great built-in module called struct. And then there's struct unpack, which what this reads is take this many bytes and then treat it like a uint32 and decode it as that with like network byte order. So after this, it then returns like the number, the data, and also like the total number. And then after that, we just go ahead and we sort all of them by the actual number. And after that, we just write each of the pieces of data to a file. This is meant to be like a incomplete version of kind of how like BitTorrent works. There's a lot more going on BitTorrent, but this is actually like really close to how torrent protocols work. Any other questions on this? Yes, this is being recorded. It shouldn't have been behind the PCAP. It should have been like on the bottom left of your screen. But if you had like a smaller monitor, it could have been like under some stuff and jostled around. I also know some people are talking about Modbus, so I can go ahead and pull that up as well. Just let me get to where I have the files on it. While I'm doing that, I can do talking. For those that don't know what Modbus is, it's a protocol that a lot of like ICS systems, which is industrial control systems, so stuff like power, manufacturing things, a lot of them are run on Modbus. Not so much anymore. There's newer protocols for it, but Modbus is a very popular one and there's Modbus over TCP. So for this challenge, you had a server running Modbus over TCP, and you're asked to read like various bits of data from it. The best way to communicate with Modbus stuff, in my opinion, is there is a Python Modbus client called PyModbus. So let me go ahead and share it. Once it actually pulls my screen share up. There we go. Okay, so this is like pretty much all the code you need to actually get the answers. Modbus has like this concept of coils, which are just binary ones and zeros, and then also input registers, which are like actual full-blown integers. So you just read the various addresses, and then once you pull them from it, like you can do some filtering. Like I know I asked like, oh, how many coils are turned on, and then also like what the value of a certain register was. So it's not super hard. It's just that like if you're using the wrong client, like there isn't necessarily always super great Modbus clients. A lot of the time you have to like write some custom scripts for it. Something that I saw people were like getting tripped up on was they saw that it was Modbus and then they picked like some proprietary thing that builds on top of Modbus and it wouldn't work. Any other questions? Frank, do you have any challenges you want to go over?
I'm not gonna lie, I had some difficulty with some of the challenges as well. So definitely learned some new stuff just listening to you today. Did you happen to have any insight into the incident response hard one?
Let me pull that one up. I didn't write that, but I know enough that I can kind of like go over it.
Yeah.
Okay, let me play with my font size on our terminal. We're just going to slap it to the biggest font size I can pick. Okay. For those that don't know, you're given this shell session into something after it was attacked, and the attackers were very destructive in your attack. For example, I like regular Linux prop. I go to type ls. We get a choo-choo train. So you might wonder, like, how do I actually like look at what directories I have? This challenge is effectively find the find in turning find into ls. So for those that don't know, there's a command called find. I think it's where you can like actually use find to like look for a bunch of different files. And there is like a max depth to find. So you're kind of asked like figure out like what bin files were modified. What ended up happening for like modifying the bin files was we had a lot of things that were like just tacking liberate onto a lot of the files in /bin. So you do still have access to CD. So you can do find dot dash name and search for things with liberate in it. Or come on. And if you want to like actually look at the contents of a file, you can still use less. So and tail, so tail dash n1 bash would actually give you the flag. We hid that in. We hid the flag at the end of bash. If I go into the root directory, I can also do the similar thing to. You also have PS. You can see crons running. So less /cron tab. You can see that this is where So that's kind of like the rough things is you had to use like some commands you wouldn't traditionally use to find things out. I'm trying to remember the find command I was using because I don't use find all that much. So, but I know it was like find dash, and then there's like a certain parameter that lets you set the max depth of find. So you only set it to like the current directory, and you can use that effectively as a CD. Or not CD, ls. Any other questions?
You might be able to try the find with the asterisk liberate without the quotes. I don't know if that'll work.
I think, let me make sure I'm still in bin, because I know I'm not in bin. I think it might even be find dot.
And then someone put in chat that it's like tac max depth 1.
Yeah, max depth 1, that's what it. So find dot. Because I've used it before. I'm probably spelling something wrong. Yeah, there. Find is annoying. It doesn't follow normal command conventions on certain things. There's a couple other commands like that. Yeah, again, most of this was just kind of being creative with other commands. But why bash? Why did we hide the flag in bash, or? So I did not write this one. The main reason that we did it in bash, or that we hid it in bash, I believe, is because it's a semi-common file.
So I just dropped the command that worked for me in chat, but essentially it's find dot and then tac name and quote asterisk 8 quote and then max depth 1.
Is there anything else that people want to see covered really quick? I think we've got about 15 minutes on the clock, a little more than that, but okay. Some people are asking about E&E hard. We can at least give it a go. I don't know how far in I'll be able to get, because it is binary reversing, but I can try and speed run it.
Ryan, yeah, we did web app hard earlier.
My terminal font's like good real quick, and then I'll present it. Okay, so for those that don't know, this program that I'm looking at is Radare 2. It's like a command line reverse engineering tool. I know like Ghidra tends to be more popular now. It's a lot more user-friendly. I have Radare 2 on my Mac. I don't have Ghidra on my Mac, so we're going to work with what I've got. So this is looking at the main function, and I'm looking at like the disassembly of it. this is not going to be a crash course in x64 assembly, so I'm just going to kind of go into like the details of how I like to do reverse engineering. You can see kind of like the string here where it's like loading in, and it's directly like it's loading the address of the string into a register, which is common for calling conventions, and then it's like instantly calling, or well, no, it's loading it in RX and then putting it in RDI. Then it calls puts. And then eventually we have a scanf, which for those that like have used C before, is that better? I know some people have said that, like, I'm already enlarging the font quite a bit. So
That works better.
I'm trying to make it fit. So we can see it calling scanf. Scanf is like gets user input and then stores it into a variable. So I can actually look at the functions, and we can see that there's like two other ones where I'm just going to go ahead and seek into FCN. We can see this one's running an XOR, and then it okay, I'm actually going to see if I have Cutter open just because like the GUI is going to be a bit helpful here. Jed, you get the key because like when you like start going through the functions, you can eventually see that it's like loading in something from a section of the binary. And then you can see that it's enumerating over that string, and I can actually pull that part up in the, like it's enumerating over your input. Another option you have is like you could open it up in a debugger. I am on an ARM64 Mac, and this is a 64-bit binary. I cannot easily run it. GDB is your friend. There's a lot of good plugins for it. I by no means have time to like explain like the full in-depth of like this is how you do binary reverse engineering, because that's like a topic that takes like hours upon hours to learn, not 10 minutes. Ethernet, I don't have either of those installed on my machine right now. Ghidra is good. I've used it in the past. I just don't have it installed on my Mac.
All right, everyone. So we have about 10 minutes left. So if you have any questions, please feel free to post them in the chat now. But we are going to get ready to say bye to Tristan and Frank soon. See, do we have any questions that we need to go over, Tristan?
I'm not seeing any in the chat right now. Just more or less comments.
Perfect. All right, so I just want to remind everybody that the team game is coming up November 8th through 10th. So please get your team set up. The cutoff will be, I believe, the 7th. So if you have questions, please feel free to ask. We can help you get to that point in the dashboard so you can set up your team. And then Spirit Week will start on November 12th, and we will have 4 days of events, and the award ceremony, as always, will be that Friday night, November 15th, and we will announce the winners of both the individual and the team game. Thank you all so much for joining us this evening. Tristan, Frank, really appreciate both of you taking the time to come in here and talk through some of the challenges that everybody was, really curious about from the individual game. And also, sorry, this is being recorded. You will get an on-demand video link that is sent to you right after the recording, and it will be posted on YouTube as well. So everyone have a wonderful evening, and we will see you all on Discord. Good luck on the team game. Bye.